What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. It is day 2 of the brand new Kizuna Clash versus ALBER, and today we have some more Super Boss information. And look, the teams you see in this video are somewhat similar, but also somewhat different to what you saw yesterday. The team towards the end of the video versus the Super Sai variation is essentially more or less the exact same team, but of course now that it is a little bit deeper into the event, you can now see the max damage potential that some of these teams are able to provide. This first team though is going to be versus super strength, and we are stalling pretty heavily here to ensure that we can reach the max gauge for Zoro as well as versus Yamato, which is actually going to be huge because it allows us to get damage reduction, and that enables us obviously to get her increased statistics and more importantly the percent damage reduction effect to stack with her special. So with this, it's a really annoying thing because if you get an alliance boost, the Zoro characters on this team will actually knock out those turtles, so you have to be very, very cautious. Robin is not a boosted character in this event, so her stats are not as high as Zoro, so you can actually use her to tap on those turtles, and when the turtles are about to die, you can just waste a Zoro tap because you know it's going to kill anyway, and it enables you to farm up the Wano slots a little bit easier. It took me a long time to figure out, whether I wanted to use a special or not on this stage, but I ended up just going for it with the Wano slots, was able to knock out Black Maria, which is massive, so I can save all the specials for the last stage. And then from here, we activate all of our specials. We get our Rush Sugo special. We have a level 5 Zoro friend captain to get his super tandem to buff the conditional boosts on the team, and also give us a 2.5 times attack boost to our free spirit characters. Unfortunately, we are not utilizing Final Tap on this team because we just don't have space for it, but the fact that Odin and Toki as well as Zoro are boosted in the event, they will have double stats, which does give them a lot of additional damage here. And you see that the amount of damage that we can do against this team is pretty crazy. I believe this is a 1.2 times alliance boost, so obviously you can do calculations depending on what type of alliance boost you have, but considering it does over 100 billion damage, I would take that as a positive in my book. Moving on now to Super Quick. Now, I know that some people in the community have been adopting the strategy of using Legend Brook to revive in order for them to get access to type effects. And, that's cool and all. I have actually tried it out, but I actually found that this team worked pretty much just as well as the Brook team. Now, look, I might not have found the most optimal Brook setup yet for those types of teams, but this team that doesn't even have type effect damage still does crazy amounts of damage to the opponent. So until I find a really good Brook team that I like and I know is reliable, and I know will do more damage in this team, I'm just going to stick with this team for now, because with Alliance boosts you can get over 100 billion damage as well, which is so crazy to think about when you don't even have type effects. So just imagine if you're in a situation where you do have the accessible type effects and you do have the characters that can attack super effectively, this team legit could do literally the full super boss damage, I feel, or close enough to. This team could just do bonkers amount of damage. And I guess, talking more about the team when we go versus Sai, that team also has the potential to do crazy damage, but due to the enemy gimmicks, it does make things a little bit difficult. But anyways, with this team here, you can see that we're able to use the super switch on stage 2 because, you don't get any color affinity on the last stage, so there's no reason to keep a color affinity boost for stage 3. So we can get the color affinity boost against Who's Who, allowing us to kill him a lot easier. Now, unfortunately, we do have the Usopp and Yasop on the team. I don't really find a good replacement for that unit because they do have the super switch, which provides further resistance down towards the opponent, but considering we have Zoro and Robin already on the team, we don't really need any other conditional boosts, and plus Sanji gives us a base attack boost, so Usopp and Yasop special really does not help us here at all. So if there was a better replacement for him that could potentially give us more damage in some capacity, that would be wicked. But yeah, you know, we don't really need that at all, so that's not really that big of a deal. So anyways, I'll leave you guys with the rest of this team taking on this versus quick variation, and we'll pick things up with the final team. So as I said, this is pretty much the exact same team that we had in yesterday's video. There are a couple of changes though, very minor changes. We did change the ship out because I realized that the ship, the Capone ship, which does boost int by 1.7, you have to be at full HP for that to occur, or below 30%. For some reason, I thought it was like above 70 and below 30. That is not the case. So we're using the anniversary ship because it's a 1.6 times boost. I mean, if you've used your Super Cola on the Doflamingo ship, that would probably be the best ship to use in this scenario. Another thing that has changed is we are using the support Red Recruit Daifuku attached to Big Mom. The whole purpose behind that is that it will enable our friend Captain Jack to secure a Wano slot on stage 2 that we can carry into the final stage. If we don't do that, it means that our friend Captain Jack will only have a tandem slot. Then that does reduce our damage by a pretty significant portion, and considering Jack is essentially one of the final characters to attack in the attack chain of this team, you know, having him a Wano slot is going to make a big difference because of all of the resistance down on the opponent with strikers and driven. Jack just does incredible amounts of damage, and you know, we do have to use Kaido to trigger the super tandem of Big Mom, which does kind of suck, honestly. It would have been nice to use him towards, you know, the end of the chain, but all things considered, with all of these specials activated, the amount of chain that we have plus everything else is pretty absurd. Now, from what I have been told and from what I have heard in the community, this is about as good as it gets for versus Psy variation, and it all comes down to the fact that the Intimidate removes the conditional boost that Queen would activate after using versus Kaido special. If they didn't do that, then this team would be absolutely bonkers, but because of that Intimidate debuff, Queen's conditional cannot activate, and some people have tried to tinker around with the team to add conditional boosts in, but it ends up being super clunky and ends up being less effective than this team. But anyways, I'll leave you guys with this, and if we find any more information in regards to further damage increasing teams, then of course I'll try and make another video in regards to that. Hopefully you enjoyed the video today. If you guys did, make sure to go ahead and leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Other than that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.
Shina.